Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another Engadget podcast live stream. I'm senior editor Devendra Hardwar. Today I'm joined by our reviews editor, Sherlyn Lowe. Hello, Sherlyn, at the other end of the
Howdy.
screen. And between us is Ben Elman, our podcast producer. Hey, Ben.
Coming to you live from a 1930s era PI office.
Yeah, all you're missing is the hat.
Yeah.
Gotta get your hat. Hello, everybody. Thank you all for joining us. I saw people lining up before the stream began. Chiming Chung, Drove Karmakar. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, Juan Anon, Lego Technique Valley, CZ. We see you. Hello, thanks for joining us.
We see you. This is going to be a fun episode. We're going to be talking about our holiday gift guide stuff and prepping for Black Friday. That cool $249 Surface laptop Microsoft announced for schools, and a bunch of things there. And Valentina from Engadget will be joining us too. So
yes,
we will have a good collection of things. Let me just look over everything here. Good to go. Yeah, chat room seems a little sparse today. What's up?
Yeah, we're not seeing our regulars, but I think partly because time zones changed. Jimmy Chung rightly pointed out, right?
Yeah.
Also hi to Gabriel, Michael Coley, and Andy Boer. Yeah, daylight savings remains a dumb concept.
All of us up, yep.
That is a hill I will die on every year.
Everyone's a little tired this week. We're all
also there are some states that just like opted out, right?
Well, Arizona just opts out. So it's like it's always hard to get Jess's timing right because of that.
I respect them though. Come on.
Sure, except if you're in the states next to Arizona and then you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, if you had
like
to do
weird time displacement. You go across the border and all of a sudden it's an hour later.
That's just Arizona, baby. Okay. I'm good to
go.
It's
not Texas. Anyhow,
we will be recording the show out of order, by the way, so don't get confused. We will just be throwing out our segments, and be sure to tune into the final episode because I have an interview with a very cool like technology commentator and academic. The end of the actual episode, not this recording.
The end of the podcast. Yeah,
listen, download, and listen to the podcast. Yes. We will have an interview.
Yeah, and what's that interview about?
Silence on my phones.
Silence all of your phones.
Devendra, what's that episode about? Tease it a little bit.
Tease it. The Zuckerman. It's I talked with Ethan Zuckerman, an academic from UMass Amherst, about the metaverse and how he tried to build one in the 90s and it sucked, and why the metaverse may fail, like as a concept. But we had a really good chat about where tech is going and what Facebook is doing and why Facebook is kind of pursuing this. So stay tuned to that. Look up Ethan Zuckerman's article on The Atlantic. I believe it's called like I Built a Metaverse in the 90s and it sucked or something like that. Google Ethan Zuckerman. You'll find all his stuff. Okay. I think we are good.
I think we're ready. Let me just see if there's any Ooh, there's a question about Xbox Fan Fest in the chat from user called Tech for the Disabled. Devendra, I don't know if you have time to answer that before we dive in.
I do not. Hold on. Nothing is loading.
Xbox Fan Fest, where and when can they get it? They want one for their life.
I do not know. That's a good question.
Although this makes sense because Xbox has been better about accessibility in their controllers than anything, right? Or than many of the other platforms.
In consoles, I think so, yeah.
No, absolutely. And Microsoft as a company has been doing this better than a lot of other people.
Yes. Yeah. Them, Apple, and
we
Google
will talk about the $249. He's asking about the Surface laptop, or they're asking. So we will talk about where you could get it. Yes. You won't be able to get it, at least for a while. This is for schools.
Okay, so
I'm good to go.
I think we're ready.
Cool. Okay, let's kick off in 3, 2, 1. What's up, Internet, and welcome back to the Engadget podcast. I'm senior editor Devendra Hardwar.
I'm reviews editor Sherlyn Lowe.
This week, we are preparing for Black Friday and the holidays and gifting for the holidays. So we'll be chatting with Engadget's commerce editor, Valentina Palandito, about that. Our holiday gift guides are up and now. Our holiday gift guides are up and running now, so you can go take a look if you need any gift suggestions. We'll also be diving into Microsoft's $249 Surface laptop, which is meant just for schools. And we've got some fun stuff at the end, too. I have an interview with Professor Ethan Zuckerman about the Metaverse. He is somebody who he was one of the early, I believe one of the co-founders of Tripod, if y'all remember Tripod. But he built a metaverse in the 90s. It did not go so well for him. So we have a great discussion about what Mark Zuckerberg is trying to do and what Meta is trying to accomplish with the metaverse. And maybe there are some better solutions to big corporate social networking. Maybe we can talk about some organic, homegrown social networking. That could be a good path for us in the future. As always, if you're enjoying the Engadget podcast, please be sure to subscribe to us on iTunes or your podcatcher of choice. Leave us a review on iTunes and drop us an email at podcast@engadget.com. If you've got any questions, we'd love to answer them on air. Okay. Let me go straight into Chromebook stuff.
It's not a Chromebook.
Yep. Not a Chromebook. Not a Chromebook. One big piece of news that dropped this week came from Microsoft, and it was entirely devoted to education. They announced the Surface Laptop SE, a $249 computer. That's a whole computer. And unlike the other Surfaces, like the Surface Go, it comes with a keyboard and everything. It's a Surface laptop. And Windows 11 SE, which is a education-focused version of Windows, kind of a simplified version of the OS. And I found this all just really fascinating, mainly for that headline, right? A $249 Surface laptop. And clearly what Microsoft is trying to do here is take on Chromebooks, because Google's Chromebooks, any PCs running the Chromebook platform are known for being cheap, being fairly stable, and people really like them for schools. They've kind of been dominating schools, especially for K through 8 kids, and this seems like a really strong play towards that. What is your, like, Sherlyn, when I tell you there is a $249 Surface laptop, what is your first thought there? Like, how is that possible?
I have so many questions for you, right? Like, I mean, so when I first saw that headline on the website, I mean, this week I just kind of been in and out of it. I was like, oh, it's a slow week, no news, hooray. And then Windows 11 SE drops. And I was like, wait, is this
another variant?
All of that. Yeah, is this another variant? And then I saw the discourse on Twitter and it was like, Microsoft won't stop trying to make these light versions of Windows work. It's doomed to fail. So I don't know if that's what you think too. I don't know what the difference between SE and regular Windows 11 is, or like how it's different from Chrome OS, which like Chrome OS is super limited because it's so browser based and everything.
It's different from Chrome OS because it's a real computer. You know, it can run programs. It can do
it can run EXEs. So you're telling me it can run EXEs? It
can run EXEs. So first of all, I agree that Microsoft, whenever they start talking about a variant of Windows, it tends to not work so well for them. We've covered this, Sherlyn. Windows 10s was a thing they announced around the first Surface laptop, where they were like, here's kind of a lockdown version of Windows. You can't install apps from the web. You have to pay to upgrade to Pro if you really want to do that. Let's make it really complicated for consumers, because that's what people want, right? And nobody wanted that. And they ended up turning Windows 10s into like a mode you could flip on and off, which I guess is useful if you're trying to, if you're giving a computer to somebody who's not super tech savvy and you want to kind of simplify it, maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. Windows 10X was their version for dual screen devices that we also covered a couple of years ago. That thing kind of just it seemed like delayed forever. They later announced that Windows 10X would be for single screen devices. And then they announced they'll stop working on Windows 10X. And then they announced Windows 11. So Windows 10X kind of directly led us to Windows 11. It's a whole like thing with Microsoft. The thing about Windows 11 SE that is kind of interesting is that it's just Windows 11. It's just Windows 11 with a couple things turned off. There is no Microsoft Store because they don't want, these are computers meant for kids. This is a platform meant for school kids. So there's no store for people to go and like download games or other stuff. It is kind of simplified in certain ways too. The like edge snapping features we like so much from Windows 11, where you can shove a window into other corners. That's kind of slimmed down too. You could just put a window left or right. And in general, it's just made for less powerful hardware. certainly, like, I think they strip out a lot of the Windows services to create a more streamlined OS, because it's always been the big thing about Chrome OS. It's just a browser. It's a light OS. It's basically Linux in a browser, and that's it. And the Surface Laptop SE, for something that's $249, don't expect much hardware wise, right? It has an 11.6-inch display, maybe a step above 720p. Choice of 2 Celeron chips, either 4 gigabytes or 8 gigabytes of RAM, and 64 gigabytes or 128 gigabytes of eMMC storage, which that's really specific there, because eMMC basically means it's the equivalent of an SD card. You know, you're not going to get like full SATA speeds on that. Really, really low powered machines. But what is interesting is like what Microsoft was able to put in here. They say the full keyboard from the Surface Laptop Go, which I reviewed last year, the full keyboard and trackpad are in this, and that is a $549 computer. That computer also had a really good keyboard, so it felt really great to type on. The Laptop SE has a 720p webcam, which looks really good. And they say they also spent time paying attention to the microphone and speakers too. I did a video chat with somebody from Microsoft who was just using this cheap computer on Microsoft Teams, and it sounded good. It sounded and looked better than a lot of $1,000 laptops I've tested. So there's a lot going on here. You know, this is a big plastic computer. It's meant for kids. It's meant for K through 8, basically. It weighs 2.45 pounds, so it's not huge. I did see some discourse about both Windows 11 SE kind of being a joke, and also look at how underpowered this computer is. And I'd be the first to tell you, don't buy this computer if it was $400 or $500, and that's basically that's basically how we've reviewed the Surface Laptop or the Surface Go. The Surface Go is their like $400 starting tiny Surface, and you know, that thing is underpowered for that price, and you still have to add a keyboard, and you still have to to make it usable, you have to spend over $500, sometimes $600. If this can actually be a $249 computer you could just hand to a kid, it runs everything they need for school. Or something schools could buy for all their students, rather than having like a little push cart of laptops that they bring into the classroom and have everybody share. This is where it's useful. I'm a firm believer in inexpensive hardware. So I think like for kids and for schools especially, I used to provision IT hardware. We still have to like look at the pricing of stuff. What kind of thing, you know, what do we want to buy? How much do students really need? And I think for a really basic group of kids, especially, you know, before you get to 6th grade or before you get to middle school, this is powerful enough to do like schoolwork, office work. I'm really into this. Any deeper thoughts, Sherlyn, now that you know more about it?
Yeah, I think it's, I mean, two main things, right? One, I kind of want to describe this for the listeners who are not looking at a picture of it. Like, this looks like a nicer Chromebook, kind of. It's got like chunky bezels, of course. It's like thumb friendly, let's be honest. Like, you can grip it with your thumb, probably the way like if you lifted your laptop up by its lid the way you're not supposed to. The bottom bezel is definitely chunkier than everywhere else, and then it's like pretty thick for a Surface laptop, because Surface laptops generally look very sleek with their profiles. But
it's plastic, baby.
This is not meant to be like beautiful, you know, take to impress your clients sort of a machine. It's really there to just be a workhorse, and
at
hopefully
that price
it's not
range
too heavy. And in that price range, that's pretty impressive.
It's pretty impressive because look at Acer, look at Asus laptops at that price, right? They are ugly. They look awful, and they don't have good keyboards.
Yes.
So
you know how we have a chunkster, honkster, onkster scale on the show? We're gonna come up with a scale for ugliness. It's gonna be like fugs, uggs, or gz.
Uggo,
or something that works. But Windows 11 SE, I think in general the concept, I would love to see how it works. First of all, I don't know if like it's something that Microsoft is also opening up to third-party manufacturers to use and make their own versions of on their own. I mean, their own sort of Windows.
Yeah, so they are. Dell, HP, Acer, the usual crowd will be making their own Windows 11 SE computers. I'm really interested to see like what the competition is here, right? Because we've seen what all these companies, when they want to just throw all the tech into a computer and like try to make a super premium thing, that's not hard these days. It's really easy to build a nice laptop. It is really hard to build a cheap laptop that still feels good and is good for kids to use. So it's exciting.
It's also smart for Microsoft to try to come for the kids in the classrooms, because Chrome for the last, I want to say 5 years maybe,
Uh-huh.
has dominated in that space. Like everyone's been making and it as an OS, it makes sense for the students at like that age range that you were talking about. So for Microsoft to want to do this, it's obvious they're kind of like nervous that if more and more kids grow up being accustomed to Chrome OS as they're like learning and then getting work done OS, they might grow up, which is what people were saying, right? They'll grow up to want to buy premium Chromebooks instead of sticking to like a Windows ecosystem, or they'll switch over to
Yeah.
Mac. But then that's like
they just won't
different
know
conversation.
Windows, right? They won't be raised on
Right.
Windows like I was. I was raised on Windows, so I understand the
Right.
intricacies of
Same,
the
yeah.
file system and everything.
Exactly.
If
They won't
everyone's
know directories.
and even right now, we've talked about professors being worried that you know, their high level computer science students do not understand file system structures, like
Oof.
don't
Yep, we were
understand
talking
the
about that. Yeah.
way Windows puts files together. We're already seeing kind of the result of people of operating systems kind of moving away from that whole
Yeah.
idea, and you see what a whole
Yeah.
generation is like once they live with that. I my thing is like it sure took Microsoft long to do this, and I've
Yeah.
honestly been talking with the hardware teams for a while. I'm like, guys, Chromebooks are eating your lunch. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like the best you have is a Surface Go laptop, which it doesn't even have a keyboard. You know, you have to spend
Don't
another
forget.
$100 to get a keyboard. I'm like, guys, let's yeah.
Well, don't forget the Stream PCs too, by the way. HP
Oh God.
Stream. Like I felt Microsoft had a hand in that too. I think it was like not only HP that did their like
It
lightweight
was
Chrome
basically
version of Windows
HP.
laptops.
It was
It
basically
was pretty
HP.
much just HP, I think.
Mhm.
I need to double check, but I remember like people have tried to make the sub $500 Windows
Oh yeah,
laptops
absolutely. I
for
mean,
a
listen,
while.
I have a story that I linked at the beginning of this article from 2018. In the headlines, Microsoft unveils cheap laptops and more tools for education. And even
Yes.
back then, they were pushing like sub $200 laptops, but they were really bad. Like they were,
Oof.
you would not wish this on your student. You know, you wouldn't wish this on your worst enemy. Whereas I think creating a Surface laptop with a good keyboard and everything, and a good trackpad too, like something
Yeah.
that's not, it's not going to infuriate you to use, is an accomplishment. We'll see what happens with this. A lot of people have been asking me like, where can I get one of these? And
Yeah.
the answer is you can't. You cannot get one. You can only people who are education buyers who buy equipment for schools can order these. So Microsoft isn't making it available to consumers, and it's not even making it available to commercial buyers, which is kind of where sometimes people would find other hardware. Like you could get certain surfaces with more RAM if you went through CDW or somewhere where companies would buy their computers. That's not happening here, but I think they are going to be paying attention to like how popular it is, and if there is a demand for it, certainly next year, maybe they could create something at this price range, or maybe 300, maybe a little more. That's more for regular consumers. So yeah, really interesting move here by Microsoft.
Can't wait to see what happens next year.
Absolutely. And I've also had the question, and is this too late for Microsoft to even go down this road? And I don't think so. I think like, sure, it is a little too late probably, but it doesn't mean like they should give up entirely and just cede that entire world to Google, because Chromebooks aren't that great. Like they're cheap laptops that run a web browser. That's it. And that is something this computer
limits,
can do.
Yeah.
And if you want to run Office software and you want to like teach kids things that they could use in college too, like how to create a PowerPoint presentation or something a little more professional than just making a web doc. I feel like that's a big thing.
Let's not forget there is a PowerPoint version of Google. I just want to point out, because people are gonna
No, I understand that.
Right?
When last have you sat through a Google Slides presentation or made something Google Slides? It's not great.
I will say, I think I have sat through many Google Slides presentations, if not
at Google from Google.
Exactly. Like I take so many Google briefings.
Yeah, but in terms of like something a little more dynamic.
Yeah,
exactly. Something a little more dynamic, like PowerPoint is still the hot thing, I think. And they even announced like last week we talked about some features coming to Office, right? Like being able to dictate your PowerPoint presentation. So kind of you could make your own self-contained thing. Yeah.
I mean, well, we're
Mhm.
on the topic sort of, and we have a little time to have a fun little tangent. Devindra,
Mhm.
what's your like deep cut old school memory of your cheesiest PowerPoint presentation you ever did? Like for like
Mhm.
or with the like most complicated feature that Google Docs could never do, but like you did it on Microsoft and it was good. For me, I remember it was like just trying to get like embedding MPEGs or whatever
Mhm.
in there and having them autoplay when the slide shows up or something, and like making things fly across the
Making things
page and
fly
like,
across the screen in
oh
sync
my
with the
god.
music and stuff. Like
Yeah.
probably one of those things. Like honestly, what I did more as a kid and as an elementary and middle school kid was try to
Mm,
make websites more than try to make
yes.
PowerPoint
Presentation
presentations.
slides, yeah.
But by the time I got to college, I was like, oh man, I wish I knew more of how PowerPoint worked because I would have to present things in
Interesting.
front of the class. So
Really?
that sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah. So it
Oh,
depends on the
back
schools. Hmm.
sorry, back in my day, I would
Hmm.
hit like I would put the image of a play button and then right click properties at URL or like
Yeah.
action and then be like, oh, add the action to play whichever MPEG that I had also attached to the document somewhere. It
Hmm.
was just like that's how old PowerPoint was when I
That's
was
how old.
using it.
Oh man,
Oh
it was.
man,
Listen,
it's
even that was
great.
not great. And
I know.
I'm not saying kids have to learn this stuff, but it is good as you're preparing to be like in a professional environment. It's good to know how
Yeah.
Word work. It's good to have like Excel experience more than what the Google Cloud offerings do. But
Mm.
you know what? We will see how all this goes. By next year, at this point, Microsoft could give up on this idea entirely. I hope not.
Oh
I hope
boy.
they stick with this one. Hmm. Let's move on to some other news. And Charlene, I know you want to talk about some stuff from Google.
Yes.
You wrote a Project Relate.
Yes.
What is that?
So I this week on Tuesday, I believe Google announced that it's made an app called made an app that's tentatively, I think, called Project Relate. I don't think that's going to be the final name when it's out of beta mode. And basically, it's an app for people with speech impairments to communicate more easily with other people, as
Hmm.
well as the Google Assistant. So I was watching the video and reading all the like material around this, and rightly, like for far too long, right? Google points out that like voice recognition and speech recognition algorithms don't serve people with speech impediments well
Right.
at all.
Right.
Like, be it whether it's something like, you have a slight lisp or you have like just a different way of pronouncing, all the way through to someone who might suffer from something more serious like a stroke, a cerebral palsy, or muscular dystrophy, who have even like a harder time with typical speech. So what Google is acknowledging, I think step one, Google has acknowledged that that's a problem. Step two is trying to solve that problem. And I think that Project Relate is part of step two. So
Hmm.
basically, it's an Android app, and it's currently in beta mode. And what it does is create a custom voice model for every individual user that uses it. So when you pick it up and you launch it the first time, it'll ask you to repeat a few phrases that it uses then to kind of understand how you pronounce certain words, certain, how do you say things, right? And then it uses that info to create this custom voice model for you. And then once it's done, it has three main functions. One is listen, where it'll just you can say what you're trying to get across, and then it will transcribe it and
Hmm.
have it display on screen. You can use that and show it to people around you, or you can copy and paste it into a document or so on. And then second function is speak. I can't remember the actual name for it, but basically it reads out in a synthesized voice what you're saying. So for people who can't see what you're saying on the screen, or if you get into a cab or something and you want to say the address of where you're going and the driver can't turn around and look at your phone screen or something, you can have speak read it out for you. And
Hmm.
then the last thing is with the Google Assistant, where you can communicate directly with the Google Assistant through the app. Which I think, like, so far it's a simple app, right? It just does those
Hmm.
three things, but it already opens the door a little bit better, right? For people for whom like voice assistants have always failed. It really like is the beginning of something for them. And I like was very heartened to see. I was just like, this is great. Like, I don't know how well it works yet, but Google's actually worked with people who suffer from muscular dystrophies or cerebral palsy to get their algorithms to a place where it seems like it works, right? According to the video, it seemed to be working well. Right now, it's inviting people to beta test this. So if you're someone with atypical speech and you want to see how this will work, you can reach out to Google on I think it's g.co/project relate. But also, it's only gonna start testing these in the next few months. Like it's gonna take a while for this app to actually come out for the masses. And not that everyone's gonna need this, but I would love to see Google integrate some of this stuff it learns eventually into the main speech recognition algorithms.
I
so
think
that it doesn't have to be like a
that's probably part of it too. Like this, whenever they beta test stuff, they're like, give me more data for my algorithms. And this one, it's going to be useful for some people, but also people who may have undiagnosed speech issues, right? Or who don't realize they may have a little stutter. It could help, for everybody.
Yeah. And not to say that Google is the first company ever to do this. Like one thing I've noticed for a while now, ever since I started doing like deeper research into accessibility in tech, is voice recognition for anyone with like just even the slightest imperfect speech, right? It's difficult. And there's this company called Voice It, which is Voice ITT, that has teamed up with the likes of Amazon and I think Apple or Google is one of their other partners to just make their assistants work better with people who have slightly atypical speech. So like not very severe issues, so something closer to more like a lisp or a shorter tongue or something like that. But yeah, this is just nice to see another company step up to do. I think Google also has like great voice recognition algorithms in general, at least when it's not, I don't know, inserting random periods into my sentences. But it's nice to see Google put some of its processing power into something like this. This seems like a meaningful application, I think.
It's good to see. Like between this and also we've covered some of the Microsoft hardware too that they're bringing to gamers, like different types of controllers and stuff. So it's cool that these companies can finally think about people with very different use cases. I think.
I know. I am grateful to see, but we still, again, we can't stress enough. There's still a long way to go. We know that tech still continues to fail a lot of people. But if you have any, if anyone listening or watching is, has any experience with something like that at all, I welcome all of your tips, stories, etc. Sure. You can send them to podcast@engadget.com. It'll be great to learn more.
Very cool. Tell us about Peloton's smart camera, Sherlyn, because I feel like you were really into this news. It looks like Peloton just made a Kinect. A Microsoft Kinect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. When I got the press release for this, it was like, oh, Peloton strength training device. I was like, whoa, did they make like smart dumbbells? Did they make like, what's going on here? Nah, they should have made a Kinect. Yeah.
So just a camera. And it does track your movement. So like a Kinect.
Yeah, which okay, so one of the things, and this is it's an issue that a lot of companies have tried to tackle, because I've been following this space a little bit recently. When you're working out, especially with something like strength workouts, where it's like repetition is key, right? It's very repetitive. Your form is so important. It's like if you get the form wrong and you're constantly repeating it, you can just cause yourself injury. That's it. So what a lot of companies have done, and I'm blanking on their names offhand, but I've spoken to a few of their like founder type people, is try to use cameras to detect your form and use AI to then make sure you're going correctly. And I always thought that was like a nifty idea. And then we also saw Samsung do something similar with some of its smart TVs at CES 2021, which is this year. Oh my gosh. God. Yeah, I believe. Where like with any webcam attached to one of its like Samsung QLED TVs, it can watch you do squats, it can watch you do lunges and whatnot as you and count your reps for you as you repeat them alongside the on-screen coach and that sort of thing. So for this thing, which is the Peloton guide, it's somewhat similar to those. You have something called a self mode, where as you're working out, you can match your form against the instructors in real time, and then you can, I guess you can also like sort of see yourself on screen as you work out. So like you don't really have a mirror you're working out in front of. That's handy, which I personally find pretty useful. It also has like a voice activation mode to make following a workout like easier from a distance, that sort of thing. Basically, if you've ever tried to work out with a coach, virtual sort of workout from home on your TV, it sounds like the Peloton guide will make it a little bit easier. But I think obviously the big takeaway here is that whole like form observation thing, where and then it ties into like Peloton's scores and scores of workout videos. So I think it's intriguing. It will cost $495 in the US, which makes it
still has the Peloton
the cheapest
name on it.
Peloton. Yeah, the
God.
cheapest Peloton device to date. So, well, I feel like, man, Peloton must be like the Apple of the fitness community, because like they just charge super high prices for everything. And that's like the premium.
It's a premium, and
but
everybody is into it. And
Yeah.
even the devices where you pay for life and you pay for, is there a subscription tied to this too? Because that's the killer with all their devices.
The Peloton Guide membership will cost you $13 a month. But I forgot I didn't get around to mentioning the $495 price tag includes a heart rate band, the latest one, as well as a remote. So you don't have to use your voice if you don't want to, or you can't. And then there's, in case the heart rate band, in case you don't have a smartwatch on you. And, the Peloton heart rate band obviously has its own tie-ins to its system. But yeah, so altogether, adding in that $13 US a month fee with this $500 thing, it's just not going to be cheap. Definitely not.
Gotcha. It's a Peloton, people. Like they're gonna go premium, they're gonna go hardcore. Let's talk about something that doesn't cost $500. Let's talk about the $3 Twitter Blue subscription, which is the kind of like premium service they've been offering to pro power users like us, the people who are online too much. You pay $3 a month and you get some cool special features, such as the ability to undo a tweet. That's not edit a tweet. That is undo a tweet before it publishes. And that is, we've talked about this so many times on the show. That is the only way Twitter could ever do, tweet editing, because you cannot have people going back and editing live tweets, especially when Twitter has become such like a record of everything that's happening. But I immediately subscribed to Twitter Blue. I'm on this damn service enough where I need undo. Really? It is a nice thing to have. I often have to deal with typos, and I just live with it. If I put out a tweet and it has a typo or something, I do not have the energy to delete that tweet and fix it sometimes and just deal with it. But there are other features here too. You have longer video uploads now. It goes up to 10 minutes instead of 2 minutes. You can pin conversations to the top of your DMs. One feature I really like is this integrated thread mode. So if you're reading a very long thread, which I tend to encounter late at night, it does this view where it's like you're just seeing the text, like just a reader view. And there have been third-party services that do this, but you have to say to unroll me. You have to throw a tweet to unroll me and then wait for it to do something. So there are little things like that. You can browse news sites without ads. That I don't care about. My only thing is if I'm paying for Twitter, and I would pay more for Twitter, take away Twitter ads. Just make those promoted tweets, make all those things go away. I would love to pay for an ad-free Twitter experience. But I also know a lot of people are like, why the hell should I be paying Twitter for features that everybody should have? Are you more on that line of things, Sherlyn?
I mean, I saw it in my app after it was announced, and I was like, should I? It's $3 a month. It doesn't I don't think too much about it. But at the same time, I'm like, they also did a bad job selling it within the app, right? Because I didn't know about this video upload extended limit thing or some of the other stuff that you mentioned just now. They only really told me about the undo button, the reader mode, and the ad-free news articles. I was like, $3 a month for just this? Nah, I'm good. So it doesn't feel like enough. For me, it doesn't feel like enough. I feel like Twitter has been trying to build these premium features for a while, like Spaces or whatever. And it's I think, kind of a dicey situation for them, right? What features do they choose to put under the premium package and what do they make free, and would it be too exclusive if they left, if
Well,
they made a pro
there are
feature?
some, like they have been doing like ticketed spaces, right? So you can like
Yes.
pay to attend somebody's
Right.
Twitter space, and I don't
That's
know. I've never
that's
done
more
that.
based on that's
Mhm.
more based on like each person, each individual they deem good enough, right? Like it's
Mhm.
number of followers thing, or it's like a verified thing, that sort of thing.
Uh-huh.
So that's like a whole other sort of situation. I almost
They're
feel like this is
doing
more like
tipping. Have you seen the
I
tipping
saw that.
thing?
Yeah.
So if you have enough, you can add a little tip box to your Twitter account.
Yeah.
Those are all things that higher level people, basically people who have a
Yes.
lot of subscribers and engagement,
Yeah.
can access. It makes sense for Twitter to experiment with that, because I
Yeah.
think a lot of us are also being like, how do you make money? How do you make money without flooding our
Right.
feeds with bad ads? And how do
Yeah.
for people who rely on Twitter as a
News
professional need,
source or
as a
yeah.
news source, like I rely on Twitter for a lot of things. I don't mind paying a few bucks to have a slightly better experience. And notably, they also said some features from Twitter Blue, which is what this whole
Yeah.
thing is called, will eventually make their way to like regular Twitter users. So it's almost
I
like you're
pay?
paying to like beta test
Yeah.
some new features, and they may just give up on some entirely if they implement something and it just works really badly. So it could be kind of a way to test out new features.
Yeah.
I feel like if they pushed it to $5 or something, people would complain more. So
For
$3 is
sure.
like, it's
Yeah.
fine. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's not a huge deal. But I would pay $5 to $10 to
Yeah.
get rid of Twitter ads. Just get rid of Twitter
Man.
ads completely,
Yeah.
and promoted
I
tweets.
But I think partly I think they make more money from Twitter ads.
Oh,
and it might
absolutely.
make sense to
Absolutely.
exactly, right, to like offer you an ad-free experience. And my other thing was, I don't want to see a freaking promoted tweet, or like I want to stop seeing
Oh,
like
God.
tweets that are not from people that I don't follow, that sort of thing. But the whole reason they do that is to keep you sucked into the feed. So
keep you sucked in, and also give people reasons to pay money to promote their tweets too. Like I keep seeing that from like really low level thinkers, like influencers who are trying to like really engage in the
Boost
online conversation, to boost their own little tweets. And I'm like, oh, that's adorable. It's also really annoying because I don't care what you have to say.
I know.
So,
I'll say overall, look, I like the idea. I think $3 is a good price. I think that if Twitter came up with some cool features that I would pay to try out, yes, that would be sure. I would pay. But then right now, it doesn't seem like there's enough for me.
You also get more customization too, so you can add more icons to the bottom of your thing. You could. I have an icon for bookmarks now. It's actually really nice to be able to go hit my bookmarks immediately. The other thing is, like, if I'm paying, like, let me pay Twitter to like do more with TweetDeck, because I feel like they bought TweetDeck and they never update it. It doesn't have all the features that the main Twitter website has. So if Twitter Blue got me a better TweetDeck too, so I could be more connected to Twitter, I guess that could be good. But you know what, folks? Let us know what you think. Podcastengadget.com. Would you pay $3 to have a better Twitter? Yeah.
Can I give a quick point?
Sure. And this is Julio, our video producer, speaking.
It's so fun fact. So now that there's a lot of shortage with Christmas shopping, this could count as a Christmas gift. Like if I know that you use it a lot,
I don't know if you can gift it.
They don't have a gifting option yet. No, I don't.
You have to do it from within the app. Yeah,
but
you could give somebody, money.
Because if I know that you use it a lot, Devendra, I can gift it for like a year, right?
$36. Come on.
But
well,
Venmo somebody $36 and say no, free Twitter Blue.
So Julio, like right now, the way to buy Twitter Blue, like you can't buy it specifically for anyone yet. You have to be signed into your account to sign up for Twitter Blue yourself. So unless you know the password for someone, you're not, like, you can't buy a gift card to Twitter yet. But unless you're talking about the situation where you can use the tip jar thing, which is only available to some users, not all, to give a last minute gift, that's like also a good idea, but like a different thing.
Right. I mean, you can have workarounds at the moment, but I'm saying like Twitter should
capitalize. There's a lot of things Twitter should do. They should be they should be kicking US congressmen off who are tweeting death threats to sitting Congress members. Yeah, they should be doing that too. So we should
Julio.
talk about all that. Yeah.
Julio, don't stop giving away your good ideas on this show.
Good ideas.
If Twitter tries to hire you, we can't afford to lose you. Stop it.
Sure.
Stop it. Okay, let's move on. We're going to run through the rest of our news real quick. Okay. It's right to prepare everything. Okay. Sherlyn, you also want to talk about this this major change Apple has made around their screen replacement policy on the iPhone 13. What's going on there?
Yeah, so I mean, just really quick, it's just a quick update on the story, which is that a while ago we learned that from iFixit that if you replace the screen of an iPhone 13, the Face ID feature would stop working. Basically, I mean, Face ID is when you the only biometric means of logging into your phone if you're an iPhone 13 user. So that pretty much sucks, right? I think it messes with the idea of right to repair a little bit too, right? If you took your phone to somewhere that's not a not an Apple retailer to fix your screen, and sometimes they're cheaper, by the way, then unless they transfer the microcontroller from the original screen, this Face ID will stop working. So what Apple did this week was announce that they're going to change that policy and make it a bit easier with an upcoming software update. So it will function even without this microcontroller switching over to the new screen. So
because nothing would be wrong with the Face ID controller if you replace the screen. It's just, hey, you are not compatible with what I was assigned with at the factory. Therefore, I will stop working. That's probably a security thing too. Any biometric feature is tied to other secure elements. If anything gets changed in the hardware, they're like, you're a hacker trying to hack this device, so I'm going to stop you. Yeah.
So grand scheme, it's not the biggest news, but I think it does have it is Apple recognizing that it doesn't really play nice with right to repair sort of policies if it does that. And
for sure,
it was I think a significant update for anyone that might have cracked their iPhone 13 screen already and
put a case on it, people. Put a case, put a screen protector on your device. Do not live naked out there with your phone. You're just asking for trouble there. I want to briefly mention a couple of things. iRobot is launching a better Alexa skill for Roombas. So go check out my article on that. I talked with the CEO, Colin Engel. They say it's one of the most complex Alexa skills ever made. So you'll be able to tell an iRobot Roomba or the BravoJet mop to vacuum around my dining room table, specific places. And you could talk to them naturally. Say, hey, every Sunday afternoon, clean the whole house and then do a mopping. And then those sorts of commands are a little less robotic than the way the skill used to work. And I think gives people a lot more flexibility in terms of how they control these devices. So I have not tested this feature yet. They launched it this week. But I do have that. I have the poop detecting Roomba to test out, the J7 Plus. So I'll be doing some of that. I'll be doing a deeper look at their software in a bit. But if you're an existing Roomba or BravoJet owner, it's I think this is a pretty good thing. Get that Alexa skill going if you have an Alexa. It is it's super useful to command your robot with your voice. In other news too, Unity announced that it's buying Peter Jackson's Weta Digital to help prepare for the metaverse. And specifically, they're buying the tech that Weta has been working on and a lot of their software. The actual VFX crew are going to be another company. They're going to be they're just going to be a company known as Weta FX, and Peter Jackson, the director of Lord of the Rings, will still have majority share in that one. So it is interesting. It's an interesting move by Unity to really double down on the metaverse. Unity makes 3D engines and a lot of tools for creating virtual worlds. I'm sure Weta has a lot of tools too to make those virtual worlds look better. Things like hair tech, hair algorithms and whatnot. So it is kind of a big push in that respect. I don't know if it's going to lead to anything. We also don't know what the metaverse will actually be, but you know what? Stay tuned to the interview at the end of this episode, and maybe you'll have a better sense of what it is. Briefly, too, I just want to shout out Disney Plus announced this week that they'll be launching a larger IMAX format for Shang-Chi and 12 other Marvel films. And this is pretty cool because, if you've been watching Marvel movies and MCU films at home, you probably notice you still have black bars at the top and bottom of your screen because these films are typically shot with a 2.35 to 1 aspect ratio, which is like, it's called like anamorphic widescreen. It just makes movies look really wide in the theater. At home, it's a little scrunched. So they're announcing for films with IMAX segments, for those specific IMAX sequences, you'll get like the taller aspect ratio. It'll basically just fill more of your screen. It still won't take over your entire TV screen because the IMAX ratio isn't quite all the way up. But still, it's more. If you're watching a movie at home and you really want to enjoy the major Shang-Chi action sequences, it'll take up more of your TV, which is kind of cool.
Nice.
Notable because I don't think any streaming company has really done this before. This IMAX integration is a first for Disney Plus, but it certainly for HBO and every other company and iTunes too. Like they probably need to start thinking about ways to get these expanding aspect ratios going because for some films it makes a pretty big difference. Up until now, you had to like buy the Blu-ray for The Dark Knight or Tenet or something to get those bigger aspect ratios. So nice change there by Disney. I think we can skip working on, by the way, because we're all working on stuff. So let's just go straight to picks.
Oh, so you're going to do that with Val?
No, we're doing it now.
We're going to skip. We're going to skip working on just because, we're all working on stuff. You're going to have half an hour of interview to do. Let's just go straight to picks. Sure. Let's move on to our pop culture picks for the week. Sherlyn, I know you were excited to talk to me about some stuff. So what's up?
I feel like you're gonna hate me for this, but I feel like this is something you might like. So over my break, which was good. Thank you for everyone for asking. Did not want to come back. Still hating being back at work. But I saw this sort of documentary. No, it's just anyway. It's this show called Attack of the Hollywood Cliches.
Wow. Okay.
I think you would freaking love it.
I mean, I know all the cliches, but okay, what's up?
You know all the cliches. I just found it informative. It's hosted by Rob Lowe,
of course,
who is self-aware,
a walking cliche.
Yes, and also points out a lot of things during the thing where he's like, "Oh, me, a cisgendered white male, does this," and it's almost a very tongue-in-cheek. It's a very tongue-in-cheek look actually at all of these Hollywood cliches, starting from the meet cute, or why does a car chase always have to involve this and that, or the scenes where people fight on top of trains with their bare fists and then they always duck with the thing coming in, or it's just like a lot of Hollywood cliches stuff into
is this this show sounds like, don't you hate it when movies do this thing?
But yes, so they point out great examples of it, but then they also sort of go into the history of it, which is really cool for me because I don't know a lot of the history. For example, I didn't know about that, I forget the name now, the something Scream, where it's a lot
Scream?
of film exactly, the William or whatever
Wilhelm, Wilhelm,
that Scream. I didn't know there's a lot of these inside jokes that it appeared in things like Star Wars. It even appears in a lot of Tarantino films or something. So it's informative but also fun. I wish it had more time to go into things a little deeper sometimes. It kind of just skims through a lot of things, but I mean, it was fun. Look, it's not the best thing ever to be made documentary wise, but it's a fun
where can you find this thing, by the way?
It's on Netflix. So that I think is something that helps me get to know your hobby a little bit better, Devendra. Your passion for film.
My passion for film is studying cliches. Yes.
It's come on, not just the cliches, but you know. All knowing when I can
more history is good
as a cliche. Yeah, exactly.
You should know what the Wilhelm Scream is. Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool. Anything else you want to talk about?
I had something else, but I didn't give the video team a heads up, so I'm going to talk about it next week.
Okay. I'm going to bring up 2 animated shows, which weirdly, in the past couple of weeks, 2 of the best animated shows of the last few years premiered at the same time. So that's specifically Star Trek Prodigy, which is the I don't know. There's so many Star Trek shows on Paramount now, but this is the second animated one and the 4th or 5th one in general to launch on that channel. Okay. It is a kid-focused, youth-focused show about a group of teenagers who are basically like prisoners on this like I don't know, weird prison planet or something, who find a starship and steal it, and basically start to discover like basically freedom, like how to live a life away from tyranny. This show is really good. Like, this is not just a silly kids adventure or something. Like, it has a really cool villain voiced by John Noble, by the way, and you know how much we love John Noble over here.
Yes.
John Noble from Fringe. When John Noble does his evil voice, so he goes kind of like Darth Vader mode in the show. It's good. It's a little scary, but I've been watching the show with my daughter Sophia. This is like her first big introduction to Star Trek. And I'm not the biggest Trekkie. I like some of these shows just fine, but she is really into this. She likes the kids. The characters are good. The voice acting is good. The animation looks really cool too. And like, there's just cool stuff happening, like big action sequences. It's really exciting. It's well animated. I think it's worth checking out if you're a Star Trek fan, or if you're just looking for like some good kids TV programming. This is one worth checking out, and Star Trek fans will appreciate the fact that Kate Mulgrew also comes back. Captain Janeway is here as a hologram, so there's a lot of like stuff going on here to really like appease the fans. It's also really good, and it's like 100 times the show that Picard was. And Picard was a show that was like, oh man, you're bringing Patrick Stewart back. You have some major authors writing that show's a goddamn mess. This show's focused, has great characters, and like it's just really cool and fun. So worth checking out. That's Star Trek Prodigy on Paramount Plus. I also wanted, by the way, Star Trek Prodigy, Chris Nodis at Engadget is writing about the show. So she has written all about like why she likes it so much and she thinks it's so good. So go check out her stuff there. I also want to talk about Arcane, which is the new show that just launched on Netflix. Yeah. It is the League of Legends show. And I will be the first one to tell you, I don't care. I don't give an F about League of Legends, but this show. No, I don't play League. I don't play League. I play real games. Surely.
Oh shit. Okay.
I don't know. I don't really care about leagues. But maybe if you know more about the universe, you'd be more into that. What this is a really cool show with great characters. Again, like kind of kid focused, but it is more mature at times. Like this is more. If Star Trek Prodigy is like it's Y7, so maybe more aimed at or younger kids. Arcane is TV-14, so it's more like aimed at teenagers and adolescents, and it focuses on two sisters who are growing up in like the poor land level district of this particular city. They are constantly battling with the people at the top, the rich society. This show is just really good. Like it looks,
nice.
The animation style is a very cool, like CG fluid animation. The voice acting is really good. The writing is solid. I don't care about leagues, but it has really pulled me into this world because it's like, it's just a setting. It's just a setting for a science fiction story. And I am totally down with that. Yeah.
It will definitely make the game feel more like, for me, like I'll have new favorite, characters to play with, right? Because for me, I just keep playing Ash or like Jinx or whoever. But I had to write up the trailer for this show when it was first dropped as my news shift or something. And like, I was like, oh, okay, the trailer looks interesting, but I didn't know if I had faith in the like story writing. But now that you're saying that it's good writing, I'm like, okay,
it's good writing. It's good writing. It's sort of like if Star Trek Prodigy is very much like Avatar: The Last Airbender, this show is very much like The Legend of Korra, like a more mature look at some major themes of classism and racism and a lot of things like happening in this world, but also the core characters are really, really good, and I do appreciate any animated show that brings in like Shora Agdashlu from The Expanse, because when her voice just appears on screen, I'm like, okay, I'm paying attention again. The show's really good, and if you're a League fan, you'll probably you'll probably dig it. I'm not trying to throw shame to MOBAs here. It's just that maybe I'm bitter because MOBAs destroyed the world. Like it destroyed games like Warcraft, like the older strategy games, because everybody just wanted to do goddamn hero fighters. But anyway, my feelings from about League of Legends aside, I think the show is really good. So check it out. It is definitely one of the best things to ever have premiered on Netflix. So yeah, those are my recommendations. Cool. I think we could take a little pause here. I see Val is here. Hey, Val.
Hey, guys.
Your office is beginning to look more like mine. So you actually have
boxes.
Yes,
boxes.
I know.
Boxes,
we rearranged our home office so it actually works better for us, you know.
Good.
But
you have organization because I don't.
My background just doesn't look like it. You know what I mean? But we do. I promise. There's some or like chaos and like organization.
That's not chaos, Valentina. I see orderly boxes on shelves. I look
Yeah.
behind me. I see chaos.
It took a long time to get there. Honestly, it really did.
Really quickly before we get into your segment, I want to like just shout out the chat again. Mark Dell is here. D-Man is here. Our regulars are back. Gabriel is also a new regular. I think Gabriel.
Hello, everybody.
I'll promote you to regular this season, as well as Jonathan Anderson, Drew Carmoke are also, I think, worthy of being promoted now. Will So, Jiming Chong, both also getting promoted to series regulars. So thank you for joining us.
Mark I did want to shout out.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, and then I'll come out.
I'm just saying that Mark Dell agrees with you, Devendra, that he's the same. He said hero units in Warcraft 3 is what set us on.
They killed it. They killed Warcraft. Goddamn hero units.
Okay. Yeah. So go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
Wait, I just wanted to say that Gabriel doesn't get a raise with this promotion. I'm sorry.
Oh,
well, no, you have to work now. So
yeah.
Be here promptly.
So, user Michael Coley said during the Google Project Relate section that they are a person with a mild stutter, has trouble talking at times, and so this is really, really helpful. So
yes.
What I'm imagining is what you said before, which is eventually this will end up as just the base model of a lot of voice assistants. And maybe there will be a calibration period at the very beginning. It's like, say these words or something.
Yeah. I mean, I think that should be the way. I think that maybe to get it to scale will be difficult, right? And if to have that be the base thing for, say, like a Google Speaker or whatever will be difficult. I don't know how they're going to implement it more widely. I think the implementing it into the base algorithm will be difficult, right? Like not everyone, like they can't make it too, the recognition can be too lax. It has to be able to distinguish between certain words at least, sort of, or sounds. And so I don't see a day where like the base voice recognition or speech recognition algorithm is able to recognize typical and severely atypical speech at the same time. I don't think it can do that. But the custom voice model might be, like you were talking about, Ben, like everyone might be able to like try to build their own custom voice models on their new phones next time because of tensor processing units on chips like Tensor. So anyway,
Correct me if I'm totally off the mark, but like if you have the calibration period, then maybe you could have the device be smart enough to say, okay, we are putting you on like track A or track B in terms of like, okay, we're putting you more on the Project Relate track, or we're putting you on like our cat on the stream.
What's up? You want to be here?
Oh my gosh.
So hello.
Hi.
Let me go take this guy upstairs because he's gonna cry while we're recording. So you guys chat amongst yourselves.
Yes.
Yeah. Cat.
Okay, we'll chat amongst ourselves.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Ben, I think that the thing you were asking about, for a while there, that was how like voice assistants on phones worked. They needed us to repeat certain phrases before they started to understand us, right? I think Siri and the Google Assistant also did that. And then now I think they just do a recognition of your voice for your voice print to authorize like certain users with certain like to be able to use like sensitive information. So some sort of like that process is already embedded in every device. I don't know they're specifically able to be like, oh, we literally couldn't understand you and therefore you're, you know what I mean? Like it feels a little odd to be like, oh, you're track B. Like there feels like there's some sort of judgment going on, and I don't know that like.
Well, I mean, it obviously wouldn't tell you. It's just one of those things that it would quietly do on its own.
Oh, that's even worse. Then like once people find out that Google is secretly doing this in its algorithm, they'll be like, oh, who are you? Like I feel like this is something that maybe, I don't know, maybe people should opt into this and like decide for themselves if they need it, and then at the same time Google can work on improving the main engine to be more encompassing as far as it can be. Like I think something like less atypical, like a stutter, like a lisp, they might try to work on for the vast majority of its products, and then with more like severe issues like muscular dystrophy or where it's quite garbled, then there's an opt-in sort of channel.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you see, I was internalizing the logic of current day like tech companies, and maybe that's what I shouldn't be doing, which is like, oh yeah, we'll quietly put you on like
exactly. Quietly is never the right. I don't feel like quietly is ever going to be the right way to do.
Well, but they would never say quietly. They would say seamlessly, and they would say frictionlessly.
Frictionless.
And that would be that's supposed to be okay, but it ends up not being.
All right, are we good to go for gift guide stuff?
I believe so. Okay. Everyone was very Markdell and quite a few people were very excited about a cat on your stream. Unfortunately,
I was very excited about the cat on the stream.
Yeah, what's the cat's name? Which cat?
That one is Gigi. We have a Gigi and a Haku from Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle. Yeah,
I was gonna say, Dev, that's pretty brave of you to have the cat in the room. Like my cat is not in here. Like
it should not be in the room. It should not be in the room. So that is why I had to remove the cat. Let me actually open this door because now.
However, it makes a total sense that the cat would want to be here because look at all those boxes. Like is prime.
So many boxes. Paradise. They jump in like when I'm working. They just jump in. But yeah, not a great place.
All right, I think we can talk Black Friday.
Okay, let me just pull up this. I threw a link to our announcement for the Black Friday thing too, or for the holiday gift guide.
Nice.
So that is what we're all going to be watching. But yeah, I'll just be chatting about this.
Okay.
So it's that time of the year, everybody, where we're scrambling to figure out gifts and I don't know, also trying to get some good deals for ourselves. So joining us to talk about what is hot this year is Valentina Palladino, our comments editor at Engadget. Valentina, how's it going?
Good. Thanks for having me, guys. Always a pleasure to see you.
No problem. I feel like this is always the biggest project for you every year. So I hope you're surviving. We see a lot of boxes behind you, neatly organized, unlike my office. So yeah, nice.
Yeah, no, it is a very busy time of the year, holiday gift guide, but also, like you said, Dev, deal stuff.
Deals.
So yeah, but we're hanging in there. Our holiday gift guide, like almost all of the stories are up now. So yeah, people can go enjoy them and hopefully find some good gift ideas for either themselves or other people on their wish lists and gift lists, excuse me.
What one or two like gift guides would you like recommend people go check out for like?
I mean, all of them, Sherlyn.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yes, all of them.
But, this year, I mean, we have a lot this year. So we have 22 stories this year with like over 200 product recommendations. There's a lot to sift through. So what I would say is that, this is the chance for us at Engadget to kind of recap all of our favorite tech gadgets and the ones that we would actually recommend people go buy. So we obviously have, our recommendations for things like laptops and tablets and earbuds and all of the bread and butter stuff, right? But this is also our opportunity to kind of put a little bit of a more personal spin on some things, like maybe cover some stuff that we don't always cover at Engadget, or at least not with the same vigor as we usually do. So we have a lot of guides that are more personal, and those are some of my favorites because you kind of really can see our staffers personalities come through when they're talking about things that they've actually bought for themselves or bought for loved ones, or in some cases bought for their pets. We do have a best pet gadgets guide this year, which is really fun, and things like gifts for coffee lovers, gifts for people who love winter sports like snowboarding and skiing, and also things like tech toys for kids, like stuff that we don't get to cover all of the time, but does still fall under our purview, or just things that we really love ourselves. So, I mean, that's kind of a long-winded answer to say, like, go check out the whole thing. But
go check out the whole thing.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? This year, I was very happy. I was able to recommend things like I feel like we don't normally get to include. So, like, we did a special guide about treating yourself with home theater gifts.
I love that one. Yeah.
That is where I was able to fit in, like, hey, take a look at these monoprice monolith THX Atmos home theater speakers, because several years ago, I went on, like, I was like, I need some Daddy needs some good speakers. I need some like speakers that will last me a while. So I picked up like these Pioneer Elites designed by Andrew Jones, who's like a rock star in the speaker world. And they're super cool. They sound incredible. They will last me forever. So looking at this year, it's actually a lot easier for somebody to get something like the mono prices, because they just bring all the tech and the Atmos drivers right there for you. And the whole thing costs like $2,000, but if we're talking about treating yourselves, treat yourself. And I threw in the Valencia theater seats that I picked up as I'm like slowly specking out a home theater. It is so nice to have like theater seats
like
in your house.
Yeah.
Like, and getting 3 of those is about the cost of a couch. So it's not like impossible, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites too, Dev. I loved the fact that we were able to do kind of like different spin on it, where it's more of a treat yourself guide, like you said. It's like things that we recommend our readers like think about splurging on for themselves if they're able to. But yeah, I mean, we have like a ton of great guides and great recommendations, even things like board games, and also like I should say that, you know, we do like try to put an effort into making sure that there's something for everyone, not just in terms of product like types, right? But also in terms of price. So we have, you know, our stocking stuffers guide, which is full of like small gadgets that are $50 or less. So that should help some people who want to like buy something for a tech savvy person in their life, but maybe only have a certain amount of money to spend. And we will have also a roundup of everything in our gift guide that comes in under $100 soon. So there's that too, you know, so there's really something for everybody in terms of type of product, but also budget too.
I think more, just real quick, just want to say, like, more than any year, it seems like we also need to think about like buying our stuff now, right? This is probably not the year to wait until December or the week before Christmas or the week of Christmas, as I have done in some years, to order stuff, because the supply chain is entirely messed up, or like actual products are not getting to shipping warehouses, so which means it's going to take it longer for it to get to you. Like, have you noticed any of this, like Valentina, as you've been exploring these deals?
Yes, definitely. That is absolutely a huge problem. I mean, we've been seeing holiday deals, quote unquote, since the beginning of October. It gets earlier and earlier every year, despite how much people might hate it. But even since then, I mean, there have been shipping delays, and things that used to be able to arrive to you within 2 days are taking a week, maybe 2 weeks, sometimes even more. I mean, I know on staff we were talking about things that we were buying now that maybe wouldn't arrive for a month out, you know? So it's rough out there. So I would definitely say that now, like, if you haven't started buying anything yet, I think that's fine. You know, now is the time to really start looking if you haven't started looking yet.
But do it soon. Yeah.
Do it soon. But I was also going to say, like, if you don't have a list yet of what you need, like, that you should absolutely do as soon as possible. Because then it at least gives you a starting point. You know what I mean? Then you know what you're looking for, and you're not just kind of wandering the interwebs being bombarded with deals and getting overwhelmed.
Can we take a pause here for a second? Sorry about that. So, Valentina, is there someone eating in the background?
Or something? Or plates?
I hear plates.
Yeah, I hear a plate.
It's I don't think so. Hold on, let me check.
Is it someone else on the call?
Not no one on my
Is it you, Julio?
Julio, are you eating something?
Are you eating? It's okay. At that point, then it won't show up in the recording.
Yeah, that's true. But I also wanted to make sure that Valentina was recording on her side.
Yep.
Okay, as long as it's not one of the people recording.
I'm gonna mute.
Come on.
I don't think it was me.
No, we figured it out.
We confirmed it.
Okay.
So, Valentina, just wanted to make sure that you're also recording on your side.
Yes, I am. I'm recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
All right.
We
so
should normally check them out.
Yes, let's take it from. I think Dev was about to talk about digital gifts or something.
Did you ask what you were going to ask, Sherlyn? Because I think I cut you off.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's start with Sherlyn and then go from there.
Go for
it. Yeah. So sorry, just Valentina was talking about supply chain issues. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just gonna go back to what I was gonna ask. For me, I might think about more this year going like in-person shopping. I think that has been the more easy way for me to get my stuff, even if because like carbon footprint, et cetera. But I personally haven't really noticed a lot of delays in my own shopping. There have been like supply issues like this Valentina, you'll know this. Our friend has a baby, and I bought them like a little winter hat, and the little bob thing was like back ordered forever, so they couldn't even make the hats. But anyway, so that took like 2 months for me to finally get it, and by which point the baby was born. So like trying to get into the shower. Baby's like here, but perfect timing. No, but the other thing I wanted to say before we got into the supply chain stuff is that like the holiday gift guide really quickly is like Devindra and Valentina have been saying, this one time I get to like talk about fun gadgets I don't always get to write a lot about. And I've also contributed a few. One of my favorites, like you said, Valentina, is your stocking stuffers guide, because oftentimes too is these smaller pieces of tech that turn out to be the most useful. Like a tile almost always makes it into that. And I see on the screen we have like a Chromecast or some Tamagotchis, I think. I mean,
or
who doesn't want a Tamagotchi? That's air tags.
A lot of the a lot of the Tamagotchi stuff came from me, because that was something that I wanted so bad when I was a kid. I definitely had one Tamagotchi eventually, but it was a big subject in my household when I was like 7 or 8 years old. So
yes, exactly. So anyway, as you're considering what to buy for the people in your life or on your list, like I think that's a good place to get inspired. But back to like when you're shopping Black Friday deals, you're saying people need to get a list, you're saying people need to like prep because there's going to be supply chain issues. Do you have any other like tips for ahead of Black Friday this year particularly?
Sure. So, I mean, the number one thing I can say is really make a list and know what you want to buy ahead of time. So use things like our holiday gift guide and other like forms of inspiration to figure out what you want to buy for each person. Because you don't want to end up spending money on things that maybe like you don't need or somebody else doesn't need, or, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, and then only to have some of those things maybe not arrive on time, right? So make a list. But then I would also say like keep a lookout for deals, and going back to that whole list thing. If you do make a list and you kind of follow those things at the retailers that you're going to buy, you usually can tell when things are on sale. So like, let's say you're going to shop on Amazon, you know, you can put things on your wish list, and you will actually see when you go back on your wish list if something has dropped in price since you added it to your wish list. So that's like an easy way for you to like keep track of everything in one place, without like, you know, going to different web pages all the time, just like making yourself crazy. Another thing that I would say is, you know, I know this might be a controversial opinion, but I think that now is the time to also sign up for brands and retailers' newsletters. Because from what I've been seeing, at least just in my personal life, that, you know, a lot of brands and retailers will send out newsletters, and they'll kind of give newsletter subscribers early access to deals, you know, a couple of hours ahead of when the general public gets to access it, or even like exclusive coupon codes, things like that. So I know that our inboxes are full of garbage. But
make a separate email account. Like that was always the thing.
You can make a separate email account, or just kind of deal with it for a month or two, and then, you know, make a reminder on your phone or something to like go in after the holidays and unsubscribe from everything if you really hate it, right? So anything that you can do that will help you either save some money or also get access to things early, or both in the same process, those would be the things I say for like biggest tips.
I also want to shout out, like, hey, folks, digital gifts. Digital gifts are getting better than ever, especially kids in your lives who like to play games. And Xbox Game Pass Ultimate like gift subscription is always a good deal, and they can stack, and that gives people access to, if they already have a console, gives them access to games, but also gives them access to cloud streaming. So they don't even need a console to play like Forza Horizon 5 or something. Like if they have a computer or a tablet and a controller nearby, they can play these games. So look at digital gifts. Another thing, go ahead.
Last word on digital gifts. It's also good for last minute gifting and long distance gifting. So if you're not next to someone, it's those are great gifts.
That's the best way to avoid like the supply chain crunch. But
and you can find a lot of those things. There'll be a lot of promotions for those types of things too, like services and stuff like that. So things like, learning services, or like apps that have a subscription required, meditation services, like stuff like that. I'm almost positive that we're going to see at least some Black Friday sales coming up for those types of things. So
also gift cards for local businesses too. So it's like if you know where somebody lives, and you can give them a spa day or something like that. That's always good. I want to throw out a tip of mine. Are you guys familiar with the Shop app?
I think
The
so.
Shop?
It's
Sounds
just called
familiar.
Shop. It is probably the only app I found that does a good job of like all the stuff you've ordered. It just keeps track of it. So you can link in your Amazon account. You can link in, like, if you buy stuff from random places on the internet, you could track all those things all at once, see their tracking
Nice.
numbers. And it does a lot of it automatically too, because it looks through your email account, or you give it access to certain other accounts. I found that to be super useful because I buy a lot of gifts for people sometimes, or I just have a lot of orders incoming, and I don't know where things are. I don't know how to track like what happened to this thing I ordered 2 weeks ago. I don't know. So that's been a really useful thing for keeping track of everything and just for your daily lives. Maybe consider the Shop app. This is not a promoted section. I'm just saying I really like it. But hey, if you do like our suggestions here, maybe click through our links, because that is actually the way we know these guys are useful to people. So if you're buying stuff, please click through the links. It's always super, super helpful.
If you found something through the Engadget gift guide, if you click through the Engadget gift guide link, that's how we make our money. So if
we stick around,
us, that's a nice way to support. That's a nice.
My cat needs food.
The public.
People, I have 3 cats. I have to buy so much cat food. It's crazy. Before we wind down, I just want to say, like, Valentina, like, you're looking at all the deals. You're looking at things that are always like, the deals are incoming. Like when a good price hits. Is there anything like you think people should be really keeping an eye on? Like, I feel like we've seen so many AirPods Pro deals, especially after the Beats Fit Pro came out. So like that one, now's a perfect time to get the AirPods Pro or the Beats Fit Pro. Check out Billy's review from a couple weeks ago. I actually just picked those up and they sound incredible. Like great noise canceling, great sound quality. So keep an eye out for new stuff. But also, if you've been waiting the AirPods Pro, we have put up so many deal posts around those things.
So many. So many. I mean, AirPods, like, they constantly just oscillate from being on sale to not being on sale. So now is the time where you're really going to see that. I mean, the 2 times of the year where especially things like AirPods and even other types of wireless earbuds, go on sale the most are around Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and also around Amazon Prime Day. So that was in June this year. So that has come and gone, obviously. But yeah, now is the time where if you're going to see it at the best price ever, it's going to happen sometime soon, most likely. So yeah, I would say look out for things like that. Like big ticket items are always the important stuff to look for around Black Friday. That's why we kind of encourage people to look for things for people on your gift list, right? But also look for yourself too, if there's something that you've, had on your own wish list for a while. So, expensive headphones, even TVs, sound bars, those kind of big ticket items that can be hard to kind of judge when they go on sale throughout the rest of the time of the year. Now is the time where almost certainly you will see some sort of discount, and it will probably be better than what you saw maybe a month ago or 2 months ago.
Like smart home assistants, like the Google Home stuff too. If you want a little screen for your kitchen, like now is going to be the time to look out for deals on those things.
I had a question, Valentina, for you, which is like, and I might have asked this before in last year's episode. We were talking about this exact same issue, which is, will retailer, like big box retailer or whatever retailer, third party type people, would their deals generally be better than first party manufacturers, or is there any difference at all?
So it can vary. It really depends on the brand and the retailer. It's because especially with like one thing that I would usually say, one type of product that I would say people should actually go directly to the companies for are laptops, because laptops, there's so many configurations that you could get, right? Is that not corporations and retailers like Amazon and Best Buy, they tend to have just like pre-config models, right? So it's like you have to deal with the model that they have actually in stock. But if you were to go to directly to the company, so like your Dells, your Razors, your HP, that kind of stuff, you'll be able to spec things out, and maybe they don't have exactly the same deal as you saw on a pre-configuration laptop at Amazon or Best Buy, but they will have their own Black Friday sales, if they don't already have them for before the actual day. So the answer is it can vary. So it's always good to kind of check the brand's website and then also the retailer where you are thinking of buying something. You know what I mean? Because at least that's only 2 places to check. If you're lucky, they will be matching, and then you can kind of decide where you want to spend your money, and then see if you also have like digital coupons or like a gift card or something. Like use all those things to your advantage and get the things where you can get the best deal,
Gotcha.
Also, Slick Deals is still a good source too. Like if you're looking for something specific and we have not covered it, like I set up Slick Deal alerts all the time. I still do. They work really well. Stuff like that. Just stick with the old school stuff, folks. Anything else you want to add, Valentina?
No, I think we covered everything. I mean, holiday gift guide.
We got more coming too, right?
Yeah, like we got more coming. All of the stories will be up by the end of the week, so keep an eye out for the rest of them. But yeah, I mean, it's I'm really proud of our holiday gift guide. I think it's really great this year, as it usually is, but especially with all of the personal touches we were able to give it this year. Everybody worked really hard on it. So hopefully that is useful to all of our readers and listeners. Hopefully you get some sort of gift inspiration out of that. And yeah, we'll be covering Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals at Engadget as we usually do. So we try our best to kind of filter out the products that are actually worth your money and that are on sale. So it's like not just like a dump of everything, we are filtering things out. So if you are interested in, getting the best deal and looking for the best deal on something that you really care about in the consumer electronics space, definitely follow at Engadget Deals at Twitter. But then follow along at our website. We'll have everything up the days of and leading up to it as we have been. So
very cool. Do we have like a deals tip line? I feel like people would love to throw us stuff. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Should they just tweet you?
But that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could either mention like at Engadget Deals or me, because it's
what is your Twitter account again?
At Valentina Lucia. That's my personal Twitter account. If you see any good deals, definitely throw them my way. I'm always on the lookout for a good deal, whether it's for Engadget or not. I am. So
you're so perfect for this job.
It's fun. Yeah. It is, especially this time of year. Good luck, everybody, getting the gifts you need for the people that you love.
Good luck.
Hopefully you're not overpaying, or hopefully everything arrives on time too. It is. This is gonna be an interesting season. Yeah,
for sure.
All right.
Cool. Thank you, Valentina.
Thank you to yeah. Should we do that for the recording too?
Yeah, let's do.
Yeah, sure.
Let me just do a thank you and say where we can find your stuff. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us, Valentina. Where can we find the rest of your work online these days?
We can go directly to Engadget.com, but my Twitter handle is at Valentina Lucia, and also be sure to follow Engadget Deals just to keep up with all of the Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales that are happening.
Oh yeah, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
All right, you can pause your recording and shoot that to Ben, and you're free to go whenever you'd like, Valentina, because we're just going to wrap the show.
Yeah, let me see if there's any questions really.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna drop unless you guys want, unless there's like any
nope, you can leave if you want.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Val. Bye. We still need to do the outro.
Yep.
Just FYI.
I'll record my ad offline after. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do that too.
We can do the let's do the outro and then maybe a little bit of Q&A.
Sure.
Because I think
all right.
A bit of time.
We got questions. Go for it.
Well, that's it for the episode this week, everyone. Thank you as always for listening. Our theme music is by game composer Dale North. Our outro music is by our very own Terrence O'Brien. The podcast is produced by Ben Elman. You can find Devindra online at
Devindra on Twitter, and I talk about movies and TV at the Filmcast at thefilmcast.com. And don't forget to stay tuned for our interview with Ethan Zuckerman after this episode.
If you want to tell me of some cool gift ideas for kids, I guess, I'm at Sherlyn Lowe on Twitter. Email us your thoughts at podcast@engadget.com. Leave us a review, please, on iTunes, and subscribe on anything that gets podcasts, including Spotify.
Woo!
All right, so then interview comes up here.
I'll record like an intro thing for it then.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have the ads and the interview.
Julio says he'll send us his plate background sound effects so you can plug them in wherever you like.
In case I want to make it feel like we're actually doing the show at a diner or something.
I mean, that would be the worst place to record anything.
This podcast comes to you via what is it? Waffle House at 3 a.m.
Waffle House at 3 a.m. Junior's Diner in Brooklyn, the best diner. Yeah.
Just going through the chat, Jonathan Anderson pointed out that the I believe AirPods, what was it? AirPods
Max?
2 are AirPods 2 are $89 at Costco right now. I
Those
forget
are pretty
Costco
good.
has great deals sometimes, but there doesn't seem to be any big legitimate questions other than Jonathan Tran going, will my 6-year-old niece get bored of a Tamagotchi? And the answer is yes.
Absolutely.
The Tamagotchi will die and rot away in a
Tamagotchis are made to die. Like
yes,
that's
and it will be highly sad too. I remember.
Yes. And also Tech for the Disabled says, had fun, guys. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate the interaction with you today. And then the shout out to our regulars and Jaime Avalos, I hope that's correct. And our Mark Dell's here today. Yay. D-Man's here today. Yay. We're glad to have you all back.
Hello, everybody.
So Ben, sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I think I was just going to joke that you said like give me your tips for tech for or like gift ideas for kids that I could then buy for myself.
For me, I'm the kid.
Or I could be the kid. Like
Everyone's
actually,
a kid.
what is it? Is it the Glow or is it the?
the Amazon Glow?
Well, yeah, but I'm not because. We got a little
write that up,
we got a little confused when we were talking about that on the show last week. But like whichever thing projects the
Glow projects, yeah.
Okay.
It's just another thing lets you slide in a tablet. The Glow has its own tablet, so that's where it got a little confusing.
Osmo is the one that uses the tablet, and Glow's Amazon
has a built-in tablet. Yeah.
Because the other things that Amazon made were Halo and Astro. Astro's the robot. Halo's the band.
We're never going to see Astro.
Glow's a kid thing. Yeah.
Well, yeah. The Glow thing with the like interactable like touch area that it projects, neat as heck. I want to.
It's super cool. I have a lot of. I put up a video I think last week of my daughter Sophia playing with it, and she's like she gets it. She knows immediately.
We have a quick question.
It's not
Julio,
a
by
tablet.
the way. What's up, Julio? Do you want to just ask it?
Yeah. Quick question. You know how Twitter Blue you can't gift that? So what would be one thing that you would want to be gifted that's currently not an option?
Maybe things I will not mention on air. I don't know.
I'm just like PG-13 or
what kind of subscriptions are we talking about over here?
OnlyFans?
I don't know. No.
Hey, you said it. I didn't.
I mean, I think OnlyFans is within our coverage scope. So
no, it absolutely is. It absolutely is.
Personal. What do I? Oh, you. I mean, hey, not that I'm asking for gifts on a show, but I wouldn't mind an Xbox Game Pass subscription. You know what I mean? Like as a gift that I haven't gotten myself yet. I feel like that's a good idea. But no, Julio's question was not about that.
Yeah, because that is giftable. Something that isn't currently giftable.
I think most things tend to be. The thing is, like companies like Amazon for some reason make things like Audible stuff hard to gift. Like you have to go to like a specific. I've tried to gift ebooks to people, and you have to go to a specific spot in the Audible site, hit a button, forward the transaction.
I found that like there are some movies that I've wanted to watch that are just not available anywhere at all. So maybe that's not giftable, Julio. There's this movie starring Hilary Duff and Haley Duff called Material Girls that no longer is available anywhere. I wonder
why.
Is this not a decom?
I think it has I think it's a sparkling Rotten Tomatoes rating of 0. But I just wanted to watch it the other day. It's not anywhere. So
not
giftable.
I wish you could give somebody like a private screening at a movie theater. You can in a lot of places, but it's not very easy.
True.
But that sort of thing is always good.
I think that hours at movie theaters, yes, that is like giftable, so it doesn't really hit Julio's question. But like
but like a private screening,
Well, but hours at movie theaters are still cheaper than they have been in the past. So
absolutely,
if you are okay with going out to a big public place where there might be lots of other people, masked, unmasked, whatever it is, you could still, go out and play Super Smash Brothers or anything else. Bring your PS5 and play Control on a big screen or something like that.
Oh, I haven't. They haven't been doing those down here, from what I've seen. Maybe it's still happening in New York. Yeah.
Julio, what's your own answer to your question?
The only thing that comes to mind is that's kind of pop culture right now is NFTs, right? So you can just gift. I don't know if you can do it now, but imagine if you can just.
I mean, I think you could eventually
pay the money to put someone else's name on the record. Oh, speaking of, guess what? Chris Velasco got me for my birthday 2 weekends ago. He bought me a plot of land in the UK. So now I am a lady.
A lady. Yeah.
Capital L.
Yep.
Lady Sherlyn, which I have definitely implemented as my honorific on my CES badge or something. The CES application thing. So. Lady Low.
Also, I didn't notice until just now that you were wearing an AFC Richmond shirt.
Yes.
Very cool.
The gift of belief. But yeah, I mean, Julio, anything else you wanted to add with that?
No, that's it, fam.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna wrap, everybody. Thank you all for joining us.
Yes, I just.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for everyone. Yeah. Thanks to everyone who watched. This stream comes to you via our video team, which is led by Colin Mock with Julio Barrientos and Luke Brooks, but it's powered by everyone in the chat. Seriously, like, you guys are what makes it fun. Rate us on iTunes. Come on. Algorithms.
Please, for the love of God.
Yeah, be smart about algorithms. We all know that algorithms have like an uncomfortable say in how long things stick around. So give us a nice rating on iTunes. Chat us up to your friends. I don't know, tweet with the Engadget podcast, hashtag Engadget podcast or something. Just tell people about it in general.
Absolutely. Show us the engagement so we can tell our bosses that hey, people are listening.
The rapidly shifting bosses as of early next year.
Oh man.
And we'll see you next week.
Later all.